Yeah, I
except
just had
that
to end the recording and then
mm,
switch the
yeah,
live button.
could have changed the title though.
Muslims march in Dublin. What we change it to? Change on the fly, can we?
Yep.
Uh,
Can we? Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
How do you even spell? What way does she spell her name? It's Lilli, is it? Lilly Allen.
Isn't there only one way to spell that name?
I don't know. Lilly. Okay. Lilliallen.
Fucking weirdos. Oh, we have someone with us for our encore.
Lilly Allen.
Except we didn't really plan it very well, so so it's going to be a few minutes of silence. When we were recording this encore, which we planned to start doing every week, I just said, oh, I guess like it's just going to be weird without the people here. And then Morgan said, yeah, fuck, just hit live, see what happens.
Yeah, we forgot to do to mention Lilly Allen and her many abortions. So it's an encore abortion special. All right, so let me just grab Lilly by the ankles, get her up here on the gurney. This is where you'll lose subscribers. Yeah, it'll be a quick segment, I think.
Dr. Crispy Rothschild is back.
Welcome back, Dr. Crispy. We need a doctor, actually. We're about to form an abortion.
At a great distance.
Yeah. Lily. So last week we were talking about that comedian Katie Boyle, and she was on Ireland AM talking about abortions and trying to kind of normalize it, or I don't know if she was just coping. But it seems like a lot of effort to kind of minimize the guilt of having an abortion, to make a whole comedy routine and tour out of it. What was the name of her tour? Roe versus Wade versus Katie or something like that. Yeah, I know. And it was obvious from the way she was talking that there was a lot of guilt within the woman, and this was her way to minimize it altogether. And then I came across Lilly Allen, the singer, who has a famous father. I think it's Keith Allen, kind of famous in art circles in the UK, and had a bit of a music career himself. And then she's talking about abortion. So I don't know if it's just coincidental that in Ireland we have this woman talking about abortion in such a fashion, and then in the UK, almost at the same time, almost synchronized, we have Lilly talking about it as well. But they are women. It is a woman's issue. So it may be just as simple as that it's just a perennial evergreen topic for women, contraception and abortion, because they effectively are the ones that have to deal with it. Men can just at any stage walk away, or listen, it's not my fucking problem. You deal with it. Your body, your choice, your problem. So we'll share this. We'll have a listen to the interview. It's a 25-minute interview. We're not going to do that, so I cut it down into the kind of just the most important part. So there's two women. I don't know what the other woman's name is. Some black woman or mixed race woman, and it's a BBC podcast, and they're talking about women's issues and contraception. And then obviously, as part of the conversation around contraception, the topic of abortion comes up, and they start sharing their stories around abortion. So I'll see if I can share this screen. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I thought my camera positioning was terrible, but look at the size of this fucking microphone. Has to be the largest microphone I've ever seen on any screen.
There's
One of those,
something sexually suggestive about that
I know, right?
microphone.
Giant black cock of a microphone staring her in the face.
Oh, jeez. Be careful. We're only 5 minutes into this new stream.
Oh fuck yeah!
There's some
Sorry,
words you can't say.
what about that?
Hmm.
Yeah, but she's in the direct line of fire of the microphone. Like,
Yeah, it is well positioned, isn't it?
yeah, it's a whole new angle. I thought my camera positioning was terrible. It just makes me feel a lot better about myself. Right, so I've only got 3 minutes and 53 seconds. Happy days.
Very good.
So we'll have a listen in.
All right.
Come on, let's play the game. Let's teach some people some things about contraception.
Yeah, let's have a question, please.
Hi Lily, hi Mikita, it's Lauren from Battersea. I'm trying to work out if this is going to come out as a question or not. It's basically, how old were you when you first went on to what I would describe as like a female-led contraception, so not
I just want to stop it there just to make a point, right? But we've often just spoke about this, about, you know, women not knowing when to stop fucking talking, or, you know, like, even to ask a question, like, that's where it should end there, shouldn't it? She has asked a question. She's prefaced the first by saying, I'm not sure if this is even a question.
Yeah,
But
fair.
then goes on to ask the question. So when did your journey with female contraception begin? That's the way most men would ask a question. In simple fucking terms, straight to the point.
Because they're interested in hearing an answer.
Yeah, and you know, we wouldn't preface about it. I'm not sure if this is a question at all. None of that shit. It's just, okay, here's a question. When did your journey with female-led contraception begin? Now, let's listen to the female version of a question.
Basically, how old were you when you first went on to what I would describe as like a female-led contraception, so not condoms, but, you know, whether you be on the mini pill, IUD, that sort of stuff? Because looking back, I think I went onto the mini pill when I was about 14, 15, and somehow...
At this stage, I'd be too frustrated. I'd be like, for fuck's sake, do you want me to answer? What's the question? I've forgotten now. Like, now I'm thinking about mini pills and fucking...
Yeah, I've forgotten. I was just looking at this silly bitch licking her lips. Like, what the fuck's going on with
jelly
you?
pills, jelly rolls, like, fucking hell.
We women to navigate our hormones, our emotions, being a woman anyway, and also being on contraception at such a young age. And yet we're always described as being the mad ones, or, you know, women are always mental. And it's like we've been pumping ourselves full of hormones the majority of our lives. Just intrigued on when you guys first went on to something more long term. Anyway, love the show. Love you both. Bye.
Well, it's always on us, I feel, isn't it? Even if it is condoms,
No.
which I suppose are...
Why?
No, the one with the vagina and then the womb and all that. It's on you, is it?
On you, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never thought about that one before.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be, like, because it's terribly unfair for, you know, women to carry this burden alone.
And then be a man.
Yeah, well, a lot of them do. A lot of them are going that way, aren't they? They're
Well,
having
that's
the surgical parts attached to make it easier for them. But yeah, I suppose that there is that argument made that it is on women, and maybe men should be more responsible. But you don't know what you're dealing with men. It's like,
yeah, especially if you're sleeping around. You have no room to complain about men being irresponsible, because people are irresponsible. So if you keep rolling the dice, you're going to, you know, get a snake eye, you know?
yeah, and you have to take responsibility that, like, this is how it is. You are a fucking female. This is the reality of it. With all the best intention of the world, you can't put it on men or rely on men to take, you know, to have a vasectomy just in case they happen to get poor you fucking accidentally pregnant, or to take the male pill so you don't have to worry about it. It's pretty much like asking every other driver on the road, listen, I'm going to drive like a fucking lunatic all the time, but I want you to make sure that you get out of the way in advance of me, you know, driving down the road like a murderous fucking lunatic. Because,
but you know what? You know, if in the interest of balance and fairness, the pill, man, fuck that shit, because it does actually fuck a woman up. on
Oh
a
yeah.
hormonal level, which has very real consequences, not just for the time, but into the rest of her life. So, we can all agree on that. Get rid of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we can, but again, it's going to boil down to still taking a higher degree of personal responsibility about your habits, and that's what it boils down to, and that's what they don't want to accept, and not just women, but men as well. It's like, but it feels so fucking good.
Oh, it feels amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the power of the orgasm. We have to outlaw orgasms is really what needs to be done, and I'm sure that's why those fucking crazy Muslims and probably went down the road of their solution to the problem of females enjoying sex. I don't know if we're far enough in where we can start mentioning FMG, but that's a solution. So if it's not as enjoyable, well, then it's what's the point, But yeah, so the pill isn't a great idea. There are other options. There are options like not fucking every guy that comes along. I know that's what do they call that? Slut shaming, isn't it? That you can't
I guess.
shame a slut, or just hook up with one guy at a time. And the same for guys, just enter into it. But it's difficult, it's hard for people to get a hold on their sexual desires. And there's always been a case where there's many institutions that try and dominate and control that. Churches being one example, and people weren't very happy with that because they thought the churches were just trying to ruin people's fun.
Yeah.
But you kind of be threw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. Where there was actually some logic to it that it's not the best way forward for society to be aborting children as a means of birth control, and that living in this particular way is indeed sinful, and sinful in the true meaning of the word, like an error. It's an error to live in that way, because it's just the psychological damage it does having aborted a child, and you can see it within the women. And we saw it; it was very evident in Katie, because generally, if something's not eating you up, it doesn't tend to cross your mind, and you don't create comedy specials around it, and you don't go on national television to bare your soul about it because it's not bothering you in any way, shape, or form. But for Katie, it was a case of it wasn't the fact that she felt guilty. It was the fact that other people were making her feel guilty about it. And that seems to be the solution. Well, if nobody else thinks it's wrong, and if we can just convince everybody else that it's not wrong, well, then it will never come up that it's wrong. But it will. It's not because of societal pressure. Not that that's not a thing, but I think people just generally know that abortion is, unfortunately, an immoral thing to do. But morals are subjective these days as well, aren't they? So we listen to these two fine specimens talk about it anyway.
Male-led contraception. It's always our problem. Let's be fucking honest. Absolutely always.
Problem.
You deal with this. I love when you've just slept with a man, then they go, "Are you on anything?" It's like, well, let's hope so. Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Wait,
I can't remember.
That's you that you let that happen to. Yeah. And you're saying, let's hope so. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think she's been a little bit facetious. But again, I don't think they understand the nature of men. Men don't fucking care. At least a certain type of man. Like, if they're going out on the town, if you're going clubbing and doing all that shit and you're actively chasing women, you're not really looking for a partner. Guys are just looking to get laid. And especially if you're into that kind of hookup culture and that one night stand culture, you go with the girl, people have had a few drinks taken and they have sex, and then it's kind of an afterthought. Oh fuck, are you on something? And it shows some level of concern, either if it's either for the woman or for the guy himself. Like, it's like, oh fuck, well, I don't want to get a phone call in 4 or 5 weeks time. Hey, listen, I'm pregnant, But even if they do, the guy can go, well, it's not mine, prove it. And that's it. And that may seem unfair, but life is pretty fucking unfair on many levels. That's just the way it is. So unfortunately, it is going to be on women to do this. And the guy could, be responsible Okay, well, I'm going to use a condom either so he doesn't get the woman pregnant or she doesn't become pregnant, or just to stop himself from getting fucking STDs, you know. But in the height of passion, and with a few drinks taken, all that goes out the fucking window, you know. It's like, forget condoms. It's like, okay, we're just getting into the bed, and let's face it, you know, most people don't sleep with their socks on, so if they can get away with it using a condom, they're going to do away with it, you know.
Yeah.
because
I
the-
remember a lovely night with one missus. We polished off a bottle of whiskey in a very short period of time, and we just went at it. And then the next morning, it was like, okay, so let's go to the pharmacist and get Plan B.
Yeah, and where did that bottle of whiskey go? I can't seem to find it anywhere. Like, and you're clinking as you're walking around the room. Like,
And then her housemate was angry because he had to, listen to us,
oh, Jesus Christ.
And it wasn't a weekend night,
Yeah, oh, it's not more like two people fuck.
and drunk fuck,
Oh,
whiskey
yeah.
drunk fuck.
Falling out of bed, like shoes bouncing off the ground, like
Like it was the best sex in my life. I swear
Yeah.
to God. Yeah.
There you go, whiskeys. There you go. There's an advertisement. Kingdom whiskey.
True ish kebab.
There you go.
Just remember, I have an IUD now. I think I'm on my 3rd, maybe 4th. And I just remember before that was a complete disaster area. Like I was just, I'd get pregnant all the time. All the time.
Whoa, buddy.
You've had
Yeah. All the time.
Wow.
But you've no children. I don't understand. That's where a buddy there is like, huh? What? All the time? But you don't have any children, and you never told me that you what? All the time?
fads are like me in those days.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I said today to someone, I was like, I actually don't know if Lily's had an abortion. I didn't know. Okay, God. See, why didn't we talk about that?
Abortions. I've had a few.
Right.
But then again, I can't remember
Don't.
exactly how many.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think she's even embarrassed, even though she's trying not to.
I would fucking hope so. I
Yeah.
would absolutely fucking hope so.
Yeah. And that seems to be what it's come down to. It's
Ah, fuck.
you all right?
Sorry, I was trying to mean, but I failed.
All right. Yeah, I think that's what it's come down to for a lot of people. That's how little it means. It's a silly song. I've had so many. I can't remember.
Like
how
we
many-
were told, fuck, what was it? Fucking 2018, was it? 2016? I forget now. So many things have happened since then. We were told over and over, and I know this is the UK and they're like 20 years ahead of us in this case, but we were told over and over, it's not about like, fucking, going hog wild and having abortions left, right, and center. Yet this is our future, and we can see it, in Ireland happening already.
Yeah.
Like it's fucked, man. It's fucked.
Yeah, that was, and people are making the argument like, well, this shouldn't be a form of birth control. It's not a form of birth control. It's women aren't that frivolous. They're not going to use this as a form of birth control. It's purely for what we told initially. It's for fetal abnormalities,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only up to 12 weeks, unless it's a fatal fetal abnormality.
And do you remember very quickly, like within months, there was this couple who the doctor said, no, this kid, it's going to be born all fucked up. And then on his advice, they aborted. And then later tests revealed, no, it was actually a healthy baby.
Wow. Yeah.
Like within months, man. The reality set in real quick.
Yeah, and given the shambles that is the Irish Health Service as well, that can't be a one-off, considering we put rusty springs in fucking kids and just so many cases of medical negligence. What's that chair? Is that sperm? Is that like some rotten sperm? It's on the back of her chair there. I'm like, what poor design choice. Yeah, so Lily's there singing it up. Frank Sinatra, I think, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Why didn't this come up in last week's episode when we were just talking about abortions?
because I was just letting you run with it.
Reveal everything.
I can't remember. Yeah, I think maybe like I want to say 4 or 5.
Yeah, I've heard about 5 too. Lily, I'm so happy I can say that and you can say it and no one came to shoot us down.
No judgment.
No judgment.
Yeah. That's what the world's come to. Like, I can just do whatever the fuck I want.
5 abortions.
10 between them. Maybe you could forgive them 1. If you're being generous, because you got caught and you weren't ready to have a child.
And you didn't really get the gravity of it at the time,
Yeah.
because society told you, look, this is just something that happens and something you do in that situation. Yeah, I get it.
5. 10 between them. And I always wondered how the figures could be so high. I think Christ, there can't be that many women who are having abortions. But if they're having 5 each.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, the same amount of abortion.
There are plenty of women out there who have had 1 abortion, and their feelings about that are complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't run into any women who've had multiple, but they are out there.
Yeah.
Or these women are making such light of the whole thing that they just think fucking summary execution is just a fucking joke, just to make a point about female empowerment.
Yeah, I control the future of the world, which they do. In that sense,
femininity.
Exactly. And don't they say when it comes to sexual contest or conquest that men tend to overestimate and women tend to underestimate? So I wonder if it's the same with this, unless you're completely shameless, but I can't imagine them exaggerating the amount of abortions they've had.
Right.
I think it'd be more likely that you would underestimate. And it's not, how could it be something you forget? It's like, is it just like going to the GP for some antibiotics? That's what it's become. Like, I don't know. I have one every fucking every month. Like,
right. Yeah.
So many, and 5 isn't a number you tend to forget, is it? I think if I've only done something 5 times, I would kind of remember them or have a rough idea, but it's not a kind of number. It's like, roughly 4, 5, maybe.
It's like asking an alcoholic how many times he's had hemorrhoids.
So, I imagine it might be more like, maybe somewhere between 10 and 15 if it's getting to the realm of I can't really remember.
It must be. It must be. And you know what? Just take a look at those eyes. What do you notice about those eyes? The color of them.
Yeah. What, just
very red, aren't they?
Yeah, demonic.
Yeah. Like it's just you just happened to pause at the right time that the demon just kind of broke through the illusion.
Yeah, we can't zoom in.
In post, we'll zoom in post.
Oh, I'll edit that.
So
I remember once getting pregnant and the man paying for my abortion and me thinking it was so romantic.
I actually think that is romantic.
Yeah, that wasn't even said in jest. Like, I think it is romantic.
Yeah, I mean, like in a sick kind of way, it just kind of sounds like cleaning up your mess,
Yeah, it's like or paying for dinner.
Like I paid for my girlfriend's Plan B that morning. I was like, she was going to have terrible fucking cramps and bleed. I'm the least I could do is pay for that privilege.
Yeah, or well, you could have been a modern man and split it. down the middle, so she didn't feel disempowered. Let's go halves on it.
Well, was it a Dutch something? Dutch split, is it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's something
Going
like that.
Dutch. Yeah.
Going Dutch, yeah, literally going Dutch. They're ahead of the curve on most things.
Do you not think that's romantic? Whoops. Am I an idiot?
What? Getting rid of the problem.
No, but like,
Let me take care of
if
this.
you've
Really?
If you're both like, let's not do this. I don't want it. No, neither do I. Oh shit, I don't have any money. Okay, well, I can make that. I can sort that out.
No, I don't think it's generous or romantic. Think about
Wait.
how long that.
Look, I know this might sound like just a bit stupid because of what's actually going on here, but what's really annoying me here is that their camera angles are all fucked up because it doesn't actually look like they're facing each other, but they are kind of facing each other. It's just the fucking BBC, man. Get your shit together. Am I the only one?
Yeah.
That's how much is it? Like 500 quid?
Yeah.
Kids are a lot more expensive.
They're like, yeah, I'll pay that.
Yeah.
Would you have taken the offer? No, I don't think you would have.
No. Yeah, but they do have a point. Like from a male perspective, if you get that phone call, hey, listen, I'm pregnant, and
Right.
I'm keeping the baby, and especially if you've just you don't even know the fucking person, like this is someone you've met in a club or something like that, and you've just had a one night encounter with them, and then you're told, listen, I'm pregnant. Okay, well, right, well, let's get married and move in together. No, it's not going to happen. And even if the guy offered that, like I don't think any woman in the right mind would go, oh yeah, well let's roll the dice here and see how this works out. Let's bring a child into the world. So for both parties, it would seem the natural option, or the easiest option, let's put it that way. The best financially sound, the most prudent thing to do financially is to abort the child. As they said, it's €500 for an abortion versus, I don't know what the cost is to raise a child over a lifetime. It's hundreds of thousands of euros anyway, getting closer.
Yeah, that's
closer
something like that. Yeah.
But even to that's the first thing that comes to fucking mind. How much is this going to cost me financially?
Price tag.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Like
it's not like a transformative experience that alters your life profoundly in both good and bad ways, and you essentially become a different person, and probably ultimately happier for it. No. It's about money.
That's 47 Gucci handbags you're talking about right there. I don't know if I can make that sacrifice. And times 5, wow. That's £5 million that I could be spent elsewhere. I've got a tour coming up, which again would make it more likely that they'll have many abortions because she is a pop star, so she's a busy schedule, no time for children. And then no one in the right mind is going to enter into a long-term relationship with some random stranger and bring a child into the equation, and for to have it work out successfully would be a miracle. You're really talking about an arranged marriage at that stage.
It's worked a bajillion times in the past.
Yeah, it has, but Western people are just not going to go there, especially if this option is available. It's like 500 quid, quick fix. She's happy, he's happy. Not that he's saying the matter anyway. Like if she rings the guy and he says this, okay, well, you listen, don't abort it. Let's see if we can work something out. Like there must be some other option. Maybe we can look at having the child adopted, or we can try living together, see if it works out. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Ultimately, it's up to the woman at that stage. So you may advocate for men taking more responsibility, but you can't then in the same breath say, well, okay, well, then you've nothing got to do with what I decide to do with this child, because at that stage, well, it's my body, it's my choice. Therefore, if you want to keep the baby, nothing got to do with you at all. And she can abort it at her will. The man gets no choice.
Nope. And that's that's not about feminism or abortion being available. That's just hard coded into reality.
Yeah.
So for women to say, "Oh, we're so fucking put upon," Are you really though? I mean, you've got a lot of power there, Missy.
Yeah. And so then, unfortunately, ultimately, it will come back to if the problem is to be fixed. Well, then it's going to have to be like you're talking about male-led contraception. It's going to have to be male-led, and it's going to be on men to make that choice. That okay, this one night hookup shit is ridiculous. It's a nonsense, and men have got to take that responsibility. That okay, if I fuck this chick and get her pregnant, well, that's on you. You're part of the problem. Like if you didn't engage in that behavior, well, then it wouldn't result in this abortion. And it's not to say that the woman gets off scot free, but men have to take that responsibility on board as well, because, like we said, it is undoubtedly easier for men by multiple factors because you can just walk the fuck away and not have to deal with it. But you don't get off scot free. You have to recognize that you are in fact part of the problem as well in this scenario.
They're like, yeah, I've got you, babe. Don't worry about it. I really care about you. I really care about you.
Within the swimming around all
Tell you
these.
how romantic it was. I don't think he texted me after.
Shove the cash in your mouth, told you to fuck off and never call him again.
Yeah.
Probably why you didn't hear from him, because you're such a foul piece of fucking garbage, just generally. And he thought, wow, whew, I got away okay.
Yeah, 500 quid. Whew. Yeah, and again, you see, I'm not privy to that kind of hookup culture. I think I had a one night stand with one woman when I was like 15, and I'm not even sure it classifies as sex. It was over so quickly. I don't think it meets the criteria for actual sexual intercourse. But beyond that, I never felt a need for it, and I was too self-conscious and awkward as a fucking teenager anyway to be in any way successful in that arena anyway. But I know many guys who did would sleep with multiple partners, and I think maybe one or two of them got the girl pregnant, but they stayed with them, and they tried to make a go of it. But I would never hear a man brag or openly dismiss. Yeah, I've been with so many women, like 9 of them had abortions. High five! Like I'm so proud of that. It would be even then it would be looked on with kind of shame. And one woman who had an abortion, she had 2 abortions. She was a prostitute. So that kind of makes sense. But I get the feeling these women, their body count may be up there with prostitutes.
Yeah.
Like, so if one prostitute I know had 2 abortions, and this wasn't a client relationship. This was just a woman who happened to live on the same road as me. I found out she was a prostitute. Because after I left the house, she said, "That's not free." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know." Like you must just put a fucking sign up or something. Like I thought you were just interested in me.
I mean, fair, TBH. I was a fucking crazy bitch, still am.
Right, got it. When did I first get? I mean, I was very excited. I felt like I was like a woman, and we went down to St Charles Square Sexual Health Clinic just off Ladbroke Grove, and you bump into everyone from school like, "Hi, it's my time as well." I think as a young woman starting your contraceptive journey, I was quite excited. It meant that I was like having sex.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you leave it there, we have to because there's no more footage to watch. The rest of it was just more fucking
garbage.
Yeah, just pure rubbish. Just listening to 2 idiots chat nonsense. We covered that. Yeah, so I thought it, just interesting the timing that these 2 pieces come out at the same time. I don't know. Maybe is it Women's Health Week or something like that, or Contraception Week?
I don't think so. It's some week or month or something.
Yeah, but it's deeply depressing, really. If this is the way abortion is viewed culturally, and like you said, this is the UK, so they're maybe 20 years ahead of us. But it's Ireland, and so we tend to.
Yeah, we like to catch up.
Yeah, and quickly.
We want to be a part of the club,
Yeah, we want to beat the English. So if they're having 5 for women, well then, by God, our women must have 10. Just to show that we're we're ahead of the curve on this one. Like,
Oh man. Dars K with a callback from the full show. Strangely enough, this is Joseph Fritzl level shit as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's yeah. I mean, come on. What is it other than you're a serial killer now? You know, like Hitler didn't recognize the Jews as real people, but he was still a mass murderer.
yeah. He aborted all those Jews before they reached consciousness. Yeah, yeah. But just another piece of degeneracy for us.
Oh,
But again,
okay.
we need to, as men, I suppose, it's just another example of women, not all women, but this type of woman,
Uh-huh.
which I think is numerous,
Yeah.
that
You're
they
right.
can't essentially, they can't be trusted to run society, nor the men who engage in this fucking type of behavior either. Like, so,
Yeah.
you know,
We're-
and waiting for them to come around to the realization that, oh, well, you know, shit, I have to take some level of personal responsibility about my actions and, you know, the future of society. It's not going to fucking happen. So it's on everybody to at least speak up. And I think it's okay now for people to say they're against abortion, you know. And people are very upset about this. Feminists are very upset about these two as well, because they're saying like this emboldens the Christians and those who are against abortion. Well, no fucking kidding. Because this is the type of society that people were warning about, that this is what will happen if it's made so freely available, that people will in fact use it as a means of birth control. And, you know, it diminishes the value of life, where it basically equates the birth of a child, a new life, as some sort of consumer choice or some sort of inconvenience. It's like, you know, it's like, well, how much is it going to cost? Like, well, I'm sure there's people online complaining about the price of abortions. I can imagine if these two are down the pub, like they're whinging. Have you seen the price of abortions lately? I remember when it was only fucking €20 for an abortion. It's €500. Inflation, I mean, come on. You can't even have a pint, a packet of fags, and an abortion these days, and that's 2 weeks' wages right down the fucking drain. I might have to give up having frivolous sex at least for half a year. Or save up for it, you know, like you wait till you're flush and then go out clubbing. Well, you know, I've got 1,500 in the savings account. So yeah, that's one and a half.
1,000 for boozing, 500 for the abortion.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And this is for the people who can afford it. So, like, if it's on the NHS, well, then there's free abortions, you know, and that'll be the next thing, won't it? Abortion poverty, and we've had period poverty, where people can't afford tampons, so they have tampons in every female toilet and male toilets now. So maybe, you know, instead of having bathroom attendants, they'll have abortionists in the female bathrooms at nightclubs at nighttime. You know, dry your hands, hand you a little bit of soap and some perfume, and an abortion.
I don't have an abortion. How about just in case? I'll just shove it in just in case.
Yeah. Free vacuum. Yeah, so you have that one for blow drying your hands, and then next to it a vacuum pump.
Yeah. That also vacuums out all the fucking diseases you have up there, you cunt.
Yeah, Dr. Crispy if now in the UK full term termination. Yeah, we looked at that last week.
Yeah.
So it's
and we think that's why last week's the segment that we covered last week came out, and what we're watching came out basically in the same week as that. So it stinks of an agenda.
Yeah, and with the UK, the full term termination, it was around the legality of it, wasn't it? That it's not, you can't go for a full term abortion through legal means, apparently. So they've decriminalized it. So if you want to go to a backstreet abortionist now, that's fine. You can do that. But if anybody raises a complaint, if anyone raises a complaint, well, then it won't be treated as a criminal matter, more of a health and safety.
But then how do you, like, there's no, well, I suppose even if it isn't in a clinic, you wouldn't be able to prove it, really. like, because the victim isn't even conscious of it happening.
Yeah.
Like, how do you prove that it wasn't born?
I don't
Like,
know.
it could have just be born. Okay, I'll do your bastard abortion. I'll induce labor, and then I'll stab your child to death when it comes out.
Yeah, I don't know the full ins and outs of it, but that's what I gathered from it, that it wasn't actually a full legalization of abortion up to full term, but it was just a decriminalization
Mm,
of abortion. So again, it's just it's incremental steps, and de facto, it is full term
yeah.
termination, which is fucking disgusting. Like how anybody could do that, either as an individual to have a child ripped from you at that stage, or to carry it out as well. Like this, Jesus Christ! Like how? Could anybody do that? You might say, you can make the argument where if it's 3 weeks or something like that, oh well, it's not really life. I suppose you could rationalize it that way. But if you're getting into 7, 8 months, and then it doesn't really bear thinking about or visualizing that scenario. But we must, because that's what it is. It's bloody fucking
Yeah.
murder is what it is.
As a friend said during the run up to the referendum, if RTE would just show, or if they could even show an abortion being performed, then it's a guaranteed no vote.
Yeah.
And it's
No.
true,
Yeah.
We just had the. Yeah, I thought we were going to bed too, Lady Vare, but we got the idea that we need to do an encore, I guess, every week for a little extra for the viewers. And also, Morgan prepared this segment, and it would be just a shame to not do it.
Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, so you're not all going fucking nuts. Like they haven't turned CERN on again, and you've into a new reality where you haven't been abducted by aliens. Yeah, it's probably as simple as that. I forgot about this fucking segment.
Yep.
So then I said, right, let's do it. We were going to do it, just record it, but it's not the same. So we said, right, fuck it, we'll just go live again.
Yeah,
And,
we missed you guys. That's what it comes down to.
yeah, we're desperately lonely. We've become addicted to that. Yeah, so yeah, it's fucking sad, and it's tragic, and it's not purely a female issue, and men can't talk about it, and it's the same for
Oh, I
men. It's
hated
not
that
purely
shit.
women's responsibility. Okay, they can fucking deal with it and do it by themselves. It's a personal responsibility one on really getting control on your base desires and realizing that it can result in the what are we doing?
Oh, dude, Dars has me pegged. Yeah, I thought I was going to go to bed without thinking about abortion too, but here we are.
No. If you're going to have nightmares, some nightmares are good and there for a reason, But yeah, it's a terrible state of affairs that this is what the fucking world has come to, and it passes without question. Where you can just laugh up 5 abortions, because it's not real, is it? They're not really children, are not really beings, and it's a kindness we're doing anyway, isn't it? Because they'd just be too busy. They wouldn't have the time to devote to the child. It's not fair on the child. It's not fair on them. And it's just too messy and inconvenient to either abstain or to go to all that trouble of,
inviting another person into your life that you're intimately connected with and will be for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Next, you will be going live when a letter in the post from Michelle Keane, solicitor. Yeah. Yeah, we'll sneak a camera into the court, the civil court. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting if Michelle's solicitor gets in touch. It'd be, what do they call those kind of cases? A lull case, is it, or something like that, or a lull?
Yeah,
a lull
lol
suit.
case.
Yeah,
Lol suit. Yeah, there you go.
yeah. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah, no, that would be actually the best thing that would happen to our careers. Yeah,
Yeah, you couldn't pay for that kind of publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if people watch one of those abortions, they'd be saying things right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember that during the referendum, they wanted those posters taken down. But no, because that's what it is, like the reality of it, rather than just some mystery, magical pill that people take.
Yeah, they go into the building and then they come out, and it's all very, sterile and normal, and and the woman doesn't feel anything afterwards. It's just, it's like one of those magical fucking Jetson lasers that shoots
Yeah.
into her and vanishes the baby, and there's no risk of like permanent injury or anything like that. Yeah,
It's almost
there's so
meant as
many
like a magic show. It's not like he's, a magician and dressed up, takes his hat out, waves it around, and then puff of smoke. Go on, next. It's a miracle. Yeah. All right. Okay, we're definitely going this time.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back. And we
Yeah.
have to get this one out because it's important, and we don't want to be talking about it too much, because after a while it just becomes fucking it's too depressing to focus on this stuff. So good luck, Lady Vera. Tomorrow you're going to Purnell Place. Fair play.
Fair play.
You check on your channel and let us know how you get on. Okay. Kingdom Water for all. Yeah. Throw the baby in the well, and we'll make a song about that. All right. Good night, folks. I'm going to kill the stream. Sleep well. Hopefully no nightmares about Lilly Allen and many, many children she's aborted. Okay. Sleep well. Good night.
You are.
We'll see you next week. We won't be back again, I promise you, until Friday.